everyone, this is Jennifer. Welcome. Can everyone hear me? Hello? Hello, Ireland. You're from Poland. Okay, welcome. Okay, thank you so much for confirming that you can hear me. Let's just go ahead and jump right in. I am Jennifer Tarle from Tarle Speech and Language, and this is your first Friday free live YouTube class. And I've been getting a lot of questions about word stress. And so tonight, again, we are going to be talking about word stress with a certain suffix. Most suffixes don't change the word stress of the root word, but there are some suffixes that do. In previous months, I've had a class on the tion suffix, which changes the word stress. And tonight, we are going to talk about the suffix ITY. So let me go ahead and show you my handouts here. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the ITY suffix. And this suffix creates an abstract noun which expresses a state or a condition. And the suffix impacts the word stress, like I said at the beginning of the class. So that means we are going to change the stress of the root word. And to do that, we are going to stress the syllable that is right before the adee. So what does that mean, right before the adee? Most of my students, when they see this ITY suffix, they pronounce it either ET or IT or ITY. And we're actually going to say adee. So we're going to use that schwa sound for the and then say D, and then add that long E on there. And the reason we're going to say adee is because technically this is a flap T, but again, I try to keep things simple. And if you just think about saying a D instead of a T, that's really going to be helpful. All right, so I'm going to read these words for you now, but I'm actually going to stop my screen share and show you my face so that you can actually see me saying these words. Okay, hello again. All right. It's really difficult for me to watch the questions and also present the class. I'm going to be checking questions every now and again, and I will for sure come back to questions at the end of class to make sure that I answer all of them. So I love that everyone can hear me. Hello in Iraq and in Brazil. And I am from Mart. Where is that? Can you clarify that a little bit? Zurich. Lucer Zurich. And can I speak more slowly? Yes, I will do my best. I will pause a little more. Okay. So here are the words. I'm going to say the root word, and then I'm going to add some suffixes, and you can listen to how that changes the word stress. So I have response, responsible, responsibility, possible, possibly, possibility, vulnerable, vulnerability. So you can see I'm switching the stress. The stress on most of those words is sort of towards the beginning, and then I'm shifting it to the end of the word right before that ITY suffix. So let me share my screen again so you can follow along while I say these words. So we have response, responsible, responsibility. I'm going to say those again, and I want you to repeat after me. Response, responsible, responsibility, possible, possibly, possibility. vulnerable, vulnerability. So let's try those all again. We're going to go actually, and we'll do just the root words: response, possible, vulnerable. And now I'm going to go all the way to the end and add the ITY suffix, which we're going to pronounce adee: responsibility, possibility, vulnerability. Okay, awesome. So I've also had some questions from people asking to start with simple concepts and then move to more complex. So I thought for tonight, we will start with shorter words and then we will make the words longer. And hopefully that will help some of you who are more at the beginning stage learn this concept of the syllable shift difference. So for those of you who might be new, let's quickly review what syllable stress is. That means we make that syllable higher in pitch, a little bit louder, and longer. So what I do is I stretch the vowel in my stressed syllable. That vowel is always going to be longer in my stressed syllable. So it's higher in pitch, louder, and longer. That is the stressed syllable. To make that stressed syllable sound different, we're going to have to make the less stressed syllables softer, lower in pitch, and shorter. So I think that's where most people get tripped up, is that you do one or the other. You either make them all long or all short. So we want to make them different. So focus tonight on making those stressed syllables different from the others. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. All right, let's try some 3-syllable words. So remember, we are going to stress the syllable before the ITY, and we are going to say adee. All right, so we have purity, quality, cavity. So one more time, I'll say all 3 and then you take a turn. Purity, quality, cavity. Okay, so this should have been relatively easy because in this word, we are stressing syllable 1 or the first syllable in the word. So some things to think about. Make sure that that middle syllable in these 3-syllable words is that really short sound, the schwa syllable. I actually just made a playlist on the schwa syllable. So if you have questions, you can look for that. You go to my homepage on my channel and you look for the playlist, and there will be one on the schwa syllable. And then you can see all my videos that talk about that concept and practice all of those at one time. It's a great free way to practice. So we want to make sure that middle syllable is super duper short, the shortest syllable in the word. And syllable number 1 will be the longest syllable in the word. So we have pure adee, qual adee, cavity. So purity, quality, cavity. Give those a try on your own. Okay, awesome. So I'm looking at questions here. I see someone from Peru. Hello. Someone saying I'm the best. I love that. Thank you. That makes me smile. Someone from Borneo. And then my brother is E.T. I'm not quite sure what that means. And then my biggest problem is pronouncing correctly. Well, you are in the right place. If you need help on where to start, again, you can go to my homepage and I have playlists based on things that are easiest to more difficult. And I start with sounds, move to word stress, and then move to intonation. All right, let's move on to some 4-syllable words, and let's look at these together. All right, so we have 4-syllable words. So we have ability, complexity, utility. All right, so again, this should be a relatively easy set of words because we have 4 syllables, and we know the rule is you stress the syllable before the adee, which is the ITY. So syllable 2 will be stressed. Ability, complex adee, utility. Okay, so I'm going to try those normally now. Ability, complexity, utility. And I'm going to say all 3, and then you take a turn. Ability, complexity, utility. Hi, Nacho. It's so nice to have you. Long time no see. Okay, and don't worry about the pronunciation errors. Again, start small, think big. If you want, you can contact me on Facebook or just ask basic questions. I'm in the comment section, and I'm happy to kind of tell, especially beginners, where to begin. And hello in Japan. Nice to see you. I think most of my private students are actually Japanese. All right, so let's go on to 5-syllable words. All right. What we're going to do here is we are going to, again, repeat the words. Let me just say them first, and I just want you to listen a few times. I think people start to get nervous as the words get longer. I totally get that. But just first start by listening. So let's just listen. Possibility, flexibility, university. Possibility, flexibility, university. So this set is actually a pretty nice set because it's pretty consistent. And what I want you to think about is having the nice short before the bill, which is your stressed syllable. So ability. So you can see at the bottom, I wrote, think of words with IBILITY as bill adee, a bill. So it's like we're saying that is a bill, like $1 or a single that you would pay for something in the US. So if you think of saying a bill and then adee, almost like it's a man's name, that's really going to help you out. So then you're going to have super short, super long, super short, and then medium. A bill, adee. A bill, adee. Okay, just try that. A bill, adee. Okay, let's try it a little, for those of you who might be struggling, let's do D, adee, ability, ability, ability. Okay, so let's try them all together. I'll say it and then you repeat. Possibility, flexibility, university. Okay, and let me show you my face. For those of you that want to see me pronounce the words, I get questions from people. I get 2 things. Either I don't see your face enough or I see your face too much. So I'm trying to balance that for everyone. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say the words again. Possibility, possibility, flexibility, flexibility, university, university. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to say them one more time. Try to remember all 3. This is great for your memory when you're learning a different language, and then try to repeat them all after I say all 3. Possibility, flexibility, university. All right. And then for those of you that want to challenge, we're going to end tonight with 6-syllable words. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. Let me share my screen with you. It's not letting me share. There we go. Okay. So 6-syllable words. Remember the ability tip. So let's do compatibility, compatibility, dependability, dependability, inferiority, inferiority. Compatibility, dependability, inferiority. Okay, and then I'm going to stop sharing and really push you on this last one. I'm going to say all three: compatibility, dependability, inferiority. Okay, how did you do? I'm going to check questions here. If you have any, let me know. Utility. The word utility can mean useful. There's some utility in this. It can also be, in the US, we refer to your utility bill as your gas, your electric, and your water payment. So those would be, and thank you, Nacho. I didn't see your answer. Appreciate it. Thanks for your help. Your mouth is not crooked. It's just that sometimes it's really hard to learn sounds in a new language when they're not in your language. You need to learn a few things. You need to learn how to hear those sounds. And then you need to learn how to make those sounds with your mouth. And then finally, you can then apply those while you're speaking. So be kind to yourself, be patient. It just takes a while to learn this because it's several different skills all kind of stacked on top of each other. Again, it's that listening and that discrimination, and then being able to use your mouth actually, and then being able to say it in words and sentences and conversation. So give yourself some time, be kind to yourself. Yes, the video will be rebroadcast and it will be on my homepage, so you can watch it later for any of you who missed the beginning. And please share it with your friends. I appreciate that. I've gotten so many more subscribers this year, thanks to all of you for telling all of your friends. And let me show you the last word from the 6th page. Let me reshare my screen here in case you want to see it again. Okay, and I think we have about 5 minutes. So if anyone has any more questions, I can probably answer a few things that are off script from today if you are interested. Okay, while I'm waiting for questions and while everyone's looking at this last page, just a few quick updates. I am going to start posting 2 videos a week starting in January. So please be patient with me. I'm trying to scale up a bit. And I'm also working on a new series called 2 for Tuesday, which I will either have a homophone, which would be a word that is spelled differently with a different meaning but pronounced the same. And then also those words in English that might have one spelling but be pronounced 2 different ways depending on the part of speech that they are. So I'll have that for you starting probably in, I would say, March or April. Why impossibility? It looks like the stress is on the first syllable. Passa. Yeah. So possible, possibility. So you're hearing, I think what you're hearing and you're asking, Ola, is that in English, we have not just primary stress, but we have primary stress, secondary stress, and sometimes tertiary and other different levels of stress, because English is a stress timed language, which means that each syllable gets a different length. So we have, say, a set amount of time to say a word, like the word happy. But then we have the same amount of time to say happily, and then we have the same amount of time to say unhappily. So happy, unhappy, unhappily. So what happens is we have to make those syllables shorter to fit into that set amount of time that we have. And then the syllable that's most important gets the most stress, or the word in a phrase or in a sentence that is the most important gets the most stress. So we not only have syllable stress, but we have word stress as well when we get into sentences. And thank you, Ricardo. I appreciate it. For those of you who are also interested, so excited that I now have all of my materials on iTunes, which means that you can use them on your Mac or your iPhone or your iPad. And I also have materials on Google Play, which those are all new. Links are in the description. You can find those on my Google Play books. I only have audio, and I have links to videos that are on YouTube. And the reason is because there are file size requirements for Google Play. So for Google Play, you can use those books on your Android devices or on your Chromebook or on any browser as long as it supports Google. And then on my iBooks, they allow larger file sizes. So those are great because you can use those materials and actually watch me say all of the words. There are a lot more books on iTunes just because the files are so big that I couldn't fit all of the vowels together and all of the consonants together like I did on Google Play. So that's why there's so many different volumes on there if you're looking for that. So any more questions? Like infrastructure. Okay. How do I pronounce infrastructure? Let me get a pen. Okay. So the word infrastructure those are like roads and bridges and those types of things. So we have infra. Make this nice and short. Infra, struck. Think of the word struck, and then infrastructure. Actually, I said that differently. Infrastructure. I actually use an SH. Infrastructure. Sorry, sometimes it's hard when I'm teaching live because I don't have time to analyze the word for you. So sorry about that. Anybody else? Let me look back. Okay, it doesn't look like it. So thank you all so much for watching. This is the last class of 2018. You've made this year such a pleasure. I love getting everyone's comments. And I really appreciate it too when you help other people out and you comment about, oh, this is something from my language and this is a great way to remember it if you speak such and such a language. So I really appreciate that. And for those of you who have translated some of my videos on YouTube, thank you. You can definitely do that if you're interested. I put a link in the description of the video. You can translate a video, and that is so helpful to anyone who is speaking your language and learning English. So thank you in advance if you want to do that. And stay tuned. I'm trying to fit in some Christmas videos on how to say some Christmas words, which is always a fan favorite. And if you have any other questions or suggestions, you can leave them in the comment section and I will get back to you. And also, if I don't hear from you every once in a while, if you don't hear from me every once in a while, there are some comments going to spam on YouTube. I'm not quite sure. I think they're just getting better at maybe trying to filter through some things, and a lot of them are not spam. So if you don't hear from me, maybe the comment went to spam. And every once in a while, I'll go through that spam folder and then I answer you from there. So don't be discouraged if you don't hear from me. So again, thank you. Have a wonderful month and I will see you the next live class in 2019. So enjoy your weekend, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.